Friday, August 16th, 8:30 a.m. Mountain Time, 2019. Guys, in this video, we're going to take a look at some recent activity at Old Faithful Geyser at Yellowstone National Park. Couple of quakes not only there, but up in Montana and some other places nearby. I've got an update on the Sky Phenomena 2020 calendar. Important update I want to share with you guys here at the end of the video, and some updates to the website. But first, let's take a look at this activity at Old Faithful Geyser. A 3.5 earthquake, very shallow, 4.6 miles deep. Anytime you have activity like that, especially over 3 at Old Faithful, you know, it's something to definitely pay attention to. And not only was there one, there were 2 yesterday at Old Faithful. This one was a 2.0 at 5.5 miles deep. This one a 3.5. And then if you look at Google Earth, we're going to take a look at the earthquake activity in the area. You can see there was one up in Canada, just up north of the border, not far from Lake Manitoba. This one was a 4.1 going over to Montana. There were a cluster of, I think, 3, quite possibly more, but there was one that was in the 4 range, a 4.2. And that one was also on the 15th, yesterday, at around 1700 UTC. Let me see the depth on that one. Very, very shallow, much like the other ones. And you can see a cluster here just north of Bozeman, Montana. So kind of in the direction of Old Faithful, running along the Rocky Mountain Ridge here. Activity in Yellowstone. Anytime we see activity in Yellowstone, and you can find the seismographs here at the website, mrmbb333.com, and that's one of the things we watch closely, are the seismos at the SuperVolcano caldera, and that's where these are positioned. And you can see the activity at Old Faithful yesterday. There were a couple of earthquakes registered on the seismos, and not only at Old Faithful, but around the entire park. You can see activity was picked up here, quite possibly from the 3.5. Some unusual activity here at the west boundary. Don't exactly know how to interpret what we're seeing here. I don't know if that's magma intrusion. I don't know. I think the red ones are definitely earthquakes. The other red lines and blue lines, don't know. So anyway, there is activity at Yellowstone. 2 earthquakes at Old Faithful, which is kind of rare. 3.5, something to definitely pay attention to. So just a quick update, guys, on that. Now we're going to go to a new slideshow I put together of sky phenomena, and then we're going to get back to the calendar. I've got a big update to share with you guys about the calendar. Some new sky phenomena sent in yesterday and the day before. This was from Fort Collins, Colorado, sent in by Lance. And look what he noticed up by the moon. A perfect triangle appears to be parked at the 5-6 o'clock position underneath the moon. Look at that. We're going to zoom in close, and you can see it's even slightly a different color. There's something there. That's not just a random cloud. That's a triangle-shaped craft. Great observation by Lance out of Fort Collins, Colorado. Received that video yesterday. Just an incredible observation. Perfect triangle just parked underneath the moon. Panhandle, Texas. Stephanie noticed some sky beams reaching across the sky, horizon to horizon. And I've seen that once myself. Many years ago, in fact. It was probably 10 years ago. It's kind of a rare sight. Michael from Greeley, Colorado, noticed a lonesome roll cloud taking up most of the sky. Look at that. All by itself, pretty much the only cloud in the sky, reaching many miles long up in Greeley, Colorado. These next photographs are from Kentucky, Owensboro, Kentucky, sent in by Nicole. I've got another very low-riding roll cloud that she photographed as this thing was moving through Owensboro. And wow, that was one photogenic storm. And I remember watching those storms on radar, and I kind of figured the leading edge of those storm systems, there was more than one storm system, would be photogenic. And Nicole happened to catch the leading edge of that very low. It almost looks like you can reach up and touch it. Roll cloud. Good observation, Nicole. Switzerland. Nomi noticed some colorful clouds up near the sun, and we're going to talk more about that later, as honestly, those clouds really shouldn't be there. But we'll talk about that in another video. We're seeing these things all over the world, and probably really shouldn't be seeing them all over the world. McGee, Mississippi, photo sent in by Michael of a double rainbow. We see these every day almost on a daily, if not weekly basis. But this time, he could see where it began. Look at that. This is kind of a rare observation. The rainbows aren't necessarily rare anymore, but to see where it starts, he was very mystified by that and got a close-up picture of the rainbow at its starting position. And not only a rainbow, a double-decker rainbow, a very large one at that, kind of a low rider. This is a starting position right here over by this house. You can see where it's touching the ground near this home, next to the timberline here. But great observation. Morro Bay, California, Alexis noticed what looked like a fog bow along the coast. Fog bows are rare. They're just basically albino rainbows. They're white with no color. But this one's a fog bow, and it's primarily white, but you can see just a little bit of color in this fog bow. There it's all white right there at that moment when she took that photograph. But it did develop some color. And I've only seen a couple of these. I've seen one down by South Padre Island in South Texas, and I've seen one up in Norway. Now, Morro Bay, California. So good observation, Alexis. Thanks for sharing. This here is really cool. Lenticular cloud on top of looks like it's either a mountaintop or some sort of a volcano. Look at that cloud just sitting up there. Looks like a big saucer on top of the cloud. That's created by wind. And you're going to see a big cruise ship in front of this. Look at that. See the cruise ship in front of probably a volcano. And then the clouds on top that look like a cap, some sort of a hat. Bryant, Indiana, photos. The next two are sent in by Joyce. Beautiful hallmark moments. Once again, Earth skies have been putting on a show for us lately. You guys are wide awake and on the ball. Sun halo, sent in by Christopher H. Big sun halo at that. More sky beams from Stephanie. This is a still image sent in from Panhandle, Texas. These here look like a couple of triangles. That's what Tone noticed from South Norway, and that's what compelled them to take the photograph of clouds that look like triangles moving through the sky. They didn't say whether or not they were moving, but that's exactly what they look like to me. Scottsdale, Arizona, right out here in the neighborhood. Photo sent in by Laura of clouds reflecting shadows on another layer of clouds up above. There's many layers of the atmosphere, and this is kind of an example of how light can get scattered through these layers of the atmosphere. And that was a great observation by Laura from right out here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Bloomington, Minnesota, Joe noticed some triangle-shaped crafts up in the sky, or at least they look like crafts. Not so sure if they were or not, but they did look like it. And this one here looks like a triangle-shaped craft in the sky. That photograph was sent in from AL from Spain. Noticing these things all over the globe. This next photograph here is a beautiful photograph sent in from Prescott Valley by Paul. Look at that. Like gravity waves. North Florida, sent in by Michael. Leading edge of yet another thunderstorm. Shelf cloud. Sunrise, sent in by Kristen P. Beautiful gold, orange, yellow colors. Much like this one here. Got the gold and yellow going on of clouds rising up into the sky. Probably the beginning of a thunderstorm. Cambridge, Minnesota. Photos sent in by Jennifer. The one on the left is the entire photo. The one on the right is the same photo. I'm just zooming in, kind of giving a closer look at it. And you can see once again, like Laura from Scottsdale, the shadows that go up into the sky. Cambridge, Minnesota again. Jennifer, very colorful orange clouds. Eye in the sky. It's kind of difficult to see. I needed to work on color and contrast a little bit more with this one to try to pull it forward, but it was there. It's a little pixelated because it was on like a webcam, but he did notice what looked like an eye in the sky. Burnsville, Minnesota. Kimberly sent in a sun halo as it was setting on the horizon or rising with sunrise. Columbia, South Carolina, sent in by Vet. of yet some more colorful clouds around the sun, actually yellows and blues. And this last photograph is of 3 rainbows that was photographed up in Minnesota by Joe. And I haven't altered the original. This is the original photograph. All I did was adjust the color, lighting, and the contrast to try to pull forward this 3rd rainbow you can see here in the middle of the double-decker rainbow. Really super cool. So this is the first image. The second one, you're going to see it there. Lighten it up just a little bit, and there's definitely a 3rd one. But what I was looking for was a 4th one back over here. It almost looks like there were 2 double-decker rainbows overlapping each other. Really a cool photograph. Great observation by Joe from Faribault, Minnesota. Definitely don't see this very often. See the doubles all the time, but to see a triple like that is rather unusual. So good observation, everybody. You are wide awake and on the ball. Now the update about the calendar, the Sky Phenomena 2020 calendar. We did get it together, found a place that could fulfill, and I've got the link now on the website here at MrMBB333.com. If you go to the top of the website, you'll see a new banner that I put up here. It says Order Here 2020 Sky Phenomena Calendars. If you just simply click on that link, that banner right there, it will take you to the ordering platform, and this is where you can order your 2020 calendar, the Sky Phenomena calendar. So here it is, guys. We finally got it done well in advance of 2020. So take a look at it if you're interested. Like I said, go to the website, MrMBB333.com. You'll see a new banner at the top. Click on it. Takes you to the ordering section where you can order a calendar for 2020 Sky Phenomena. All right, guys, that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.